YouTube, thank you so much for tuning into another video. My guy Anthony here, he really appreciates to have a nice flow to his haircut. He is super like on point all the time, right? He takes time, he styles his hair, so I gotta make sure that I deliver a cut that's gonna keep him satisfied and coming back to me at least every 2 weeks, right? So we're gonna use the Rebel set today. I got the Rebel clipper and I've got the Rebel trimmer, and I'm showing you guys these clippers today because even though these machines have been out for a while, they now sell it in a bundle together, so it could be a better value package, right? So I start off right here with the clipper all the way closed. And you may already know, I like to go all the way closed with the clipper first because it's a softer line to take out. Instead, if I were to punch the line in with some trimmers, right? Something that's made for edging. But in this case, if I start with that clipper closed and I give myself a panel to blend up with the lever open, right? I'm gonna make sure that I give myself a really decent amount of space. I like to favor more of an inch wide panel for that first panel. I don't really like going, real tight lines. I want to give myself some space to fade. I just need to make sure that this whole haircut just blends real blurry together, right? So if I give myself enough space with this lever open, now I'm going to be able to go in between that bald line at the bottom and the top line that I set. Personally, I like to jump in straight, like with the clipper halfway, with that lever halfway, and I'm almost reaching up to that top line that I put in. Not all the way, but I'm just, light pressure. I want to just little by little lighten up that line of demarcation right there in the middle. But if we first attack it with the lever halfway, then we can go one more notch close, and then just little by little we are incrementally working our way lower and lower, and eventually it's going to fully match. It's going to match perfectly to that first line that we put in. This is exactly why I like to go in with the clipper closed first. It's an easy line to blend out. It's going to flow perfectly smooth with your haircut, and it's going to give you a win, an early win to celebrate in this haircut, right? We accomplished that first, and that's a win. Now we can move on to the next portion of this haircut. So now that we are done with that very bottom panel, now we're gonna start working our way down. Now here's the thing, if you want to, you can definitely jump in with your foreguard and do a little bit of debulking. Personally, in this case, I decided just to start off with the 1.5 guard. I feel like the 1.5 guard is a nice length of a guard to go into the haircut with to start manipulating the color, right? As far as controlling that light to dark transition. I really like using the 1.5 guard, starting with the lever open, to first clear a little bit of bulk, right? Using straight up and down motion so that way I don't put in too harsh of a line. We're gonna come back and blend out any demarcation that this puts in here. But I wanna start off the transition here with this 1.5 guard open, and then once we get that done, now we can close the guard and we can slowly start working our way fading down. So I'm not gonna go as high as I did here with the 1.5 open, but we're just incrementally gonna work our way lower and lower. So here we are with this 1.5 guard close, and we are rocking that line. We're not afraid to break through that line, because remember, the only way that you're gonna fade that out is if you push through the line. You've gotta keep elevating throughout the haircut. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this with the 1.5 guard close now. Now, if you are comfortable with it, well, let's say if you're not comfortable with going straight to the half guard, you can do this same motion here with the 1 guard, start open and then go closed. But if you start here with this half guard, which is what I want to encourage you to do to help you become more efficient over time, if we can start with this lever all the way open and you just use nice soft pressure, straight up and down motions, you're not trying to dig in too deep and create another harsh line. The reason why I always try to start with, go straight from the 1.5 guard to the half is, if you think about it, let's say you have the 1.5 guard and that lever's closed. What is that equivalent to? That's supposed to be equivalent to a 1 guard. But at the same time now, this half guard, if you have that half guard with the lever open, that also should be equivalent to a half guard. So it can take a little bit of finessing, kind of learning the hand motions, right? Just to make sure that you can finesse it, right? Use soft pressure and play with that to connect those two different lengths. But you can see here, like I'm moving pretty high, I'm moving pretty quick, and it's just a matter of basically learning that muscle memory, man. To blend that up into the 1.5. like I said, if you're not ready for it, do this whole motion here with the 1 guard first, and then you can fade down into this half guard length. But the key is we're working our way down, so we're starting open, doing everything that we can while it's open, and we're closing that lever little by little, working our way down to that line that we did, that panel that we faded in the very beginning of the cut, right? If we have this clipper closed now with the half guard, that should blend really closely into no guard clipper open, like what we started with. Of course, if we need to, we'll come back and we'll do a little more cornering work, but let's see how these steps come together to fade this section. So don't forget, guys, all the tools that we're going to use in today's video, the Rebel Clipper, the Rebel Trimmer, you guys can use the discount code Tito Cuts to save yourself 20% on that. And also for styling hair, clients like this who are really particular with their hairstyle, you can go to the Tune 45 website and use the same discount code Tito Cuts and save yourself a good bit of money on the indestructible clay, on the powder, depending on what your clientele likes, but that'll increase your profit margins. So as of now, I feel like these panels have really blended well together. So now what I'm gonna do is let's take some time to soften up the bulk line that is at the very top of this haircut. You know, you could have done it in the beginning. Typically that's what I'll do, but you know, sometimes you just switch it up on the fly, right? But what I'm gonna do is since I wanna especially maintain this shape, right? The flow of the haircut is really important to my client. So I'm gonna use a little bit of clipper over comb action here. So that way I can remove the bulk that's sitting there right on top of where we did this 1.5 section. Do a little bit of clipper over comb. You have your clipper open, you can have your clipper closed. Just play with it, see what you're most comfortable with. And then after we're done clipper over comb, now we're gonna pull out the blending shears and we're gonna soften up that area right there at the very top of this blend. It could look a little bit heavy right now how it is, but that's why this step that we're getting into is so essential. So let's watch this come together. So let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite method to use whenever you're trying to debulk an area like this? A lot of people are gonna go clipper over comb, shear over comb. You know, just depending on the hair texture. For me, I really like these blending shears, man. I got these from Fresh Shears. You know, they're the 40 tooth flip shears, so there's no offset on the holes of the on the finger holes of this, man. So you know, it can give you a little more customization, a little more control over it. And here we are with these Rebel shavers, man. These things, actually, I never adjusted them. Lately, I've really been trying to give my best judgment on machines, how they perform straight out of the box, and these are definitely winners. Now, this is gonna be something that you're gonna wanna try if you are a fan of a super lightweight trimmer that is already set perfect to go out the box. Now, some people love it, some people hate it. You know, the thing is that even with that digital gap blade that I ended up putting on the Babyliss, I feel like even that one sometimes can cut a little bit too close. You know, I've always just had a hard time setting those blades for some reason, but that is one thing that I can give Stylecraft credit for in this case. They did set this one perfect out the box, and I had a few barbers here in the shop try them out, and they give me the same feedback. But of course, some people like their heavier duty clippers. You like something that feels a little more solid in hand like the Babyliss. Some people like this one. It's a little more lightweight, easier to maneuver. So let me know your thoughts below on that. So look, this piece right here, this is something that Gamma sent me, man. This is the blow vac, and I was super happy with this one because this blow vac, I feel like it came at the perfect time for me, man. The air compressor at the barbershop was definitely messing up. We had to replace some part on it. So it became really inconvenient, you know, when you get used to working with pressurized air like that. So they just so happened to send me the perfect replacement for an air compressor. All I gotta do is charge this thing overnight with my USB-C cable, the same thing that's gonna charge up anything really, like your iPad, right? You know, the FX1 batteries, your phone, right? So you can just use that same cable to go ahead and charge it overnight, and you got power the whole way through. You know, this thing is good enough to clean up the floors, blow hair off of your client's face and everything like that. That's going to be on the Gamma site, same discount code. But look, check it out, guys. So I wanted to keep on working, you know, on the little areas of demarcation that I was able to see, you know, keep the fade spread out nice, but still a bit compressed, so that way he could keep his flow. Like I said, his main priority is that. So yeah, we're pretty much coming together and wrapping this up, but I want to show you guys what the finished cut looked like. And this is it right here, man. I really appreciate you guys watching the video with me. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, man. Is this a haircut that you now feel more comfortable executing? I appreciate you guys.